Boston University softball field. We're just about set for the second game here today as Lehigh will now take on Bucknell in an elimination game as they'll try to both stay alive. And let's take a look at both of our coaches. First, on the Bucknell side, Joey Lehigh doing a fantastic job this season guiding the Bison back to the tournament.
Yeah, Patriot League Coach of the Year, so have to be doing something right. 14 wins in conference. That's a Bucknell season high. And it's a team that lost the game, unfortunately, yesterday to Lehigh, but they're definitely out for revenge here again today in the second elimination game of the tournament.
And on the other side, it's Fran Troyan, who will be trying to avoid elimination with this Lehigh team after they lost earlier today to Boston University. So they want to win and get to that championship round rematch with BU. It starts with the coaching staff, obviously, and he is in charge when it comes to Lehigh.
24 years in the dugout for Lehigh softball. I mean, come on, how many – you've seen every situation in 24 years. That just goes to show. That's an old pro. That's a veteran. He's been in countless tournaments like this. He knows what to see, and he knows all the positions, and he knows all of his girls pretty well. So strength against strength here. A couple of great minds in the dugouts.
And the two teams will get set to line it up in just a moment as they're still finishing final field preparations. So we will get going here. We're looking at the Bucknell lineup right now. And you can see in the leadoff spot is Elise Volpe, who had a hitting streak ended yesterday, 18 games, but has now reached base safely in 19 straight. Followed by Ryan Rokos, Anna Gimestad, Lauren Hadley, Taylor Wolfgang, Jess Hom, Haley Mariano, Nicole Rivate, and Marissa Alamani. That will be the starting lineup for Bucknell that will face off with Parker Boyd, who just finished the last game on the mound for Lehigh.
Yeah, similar to how that first game went against Bucknell. It was Boyd who started and then Nori who came in relief. And now they changed turns, but had a different route. So we'll see. Boyd starts this one. 3.32 ERA, 12-11 record, 151.2 innings in the year, and holding hitters to a 274 average, so not bad.
Not bad at all. They are announcing these starting lineups right now on the field, and Bucknell has a couple of first-team recipients in the Patriot League this year. Anna Gimestad, the shortstop, and Elise Volpe, the outfielder. A couple of second-teamers as well, Lauren Hadley, Sarah Ballack, and Jess Hom, with Rianne Gefford also making that list. And you take a look at all of the first-team recipients this year, quite a few from BU, obviously the host school here, but Lehigh and Bucknell plenty represented as well. In fact, only one player on the whole first team, the at-large bid of Megan Romero, is not here today at day 2 of this tournament. So pretty impressive stuff from most of this conference. And Taylor Drayton as well, Army, the only one not to be here at all this weekend. So the first team loaded with talent this year in the Patriot League.
Loaded with Terriers, too.
Loaded with Terriers, too.
Grabbing the 2 starting pitcher roles, the designated player, catcher first, third, and second. I mean, all those. You've seen them all year long.
So Lehigh is being announced to take the field right now. And, again, they'll be the home team for this game, too, as well. They were the home team here against BU in Game 1, which is obviously not familiar territory to them, but they were unable to hold off the Terriers, who are now 17-0 on this field this season. Of course, it did not count towards a home game for them, but it does count towards staying unbeaten at this particular park. So now that the lineups have been announced and Parker Boyd is on the hill, she will get set and begin taking her warm-up pitches, and we will have our second game coming up momentarily. Take a look at the numbers on Boyd on the season. Coming in 3.32 ERA, 12-11. This will be the 27th start. Gone the distance 15 times, 151 2/3 innings. She has 137 Ks. So good strikeout numbers, strong strikeout numbers, and it's going to be a tough task today for Bucknell.
And, of course, she did start yesterday against Bucknell. And once they started hitting her late, you know, they switched to Nori, and that really did work for Lehigh to slam the door shut. But you wonder if it's a short leash on Boyd. She's definitely the better rested pitcher after Nori went about 5.5 in the early game today. But, you know, it's an elimination game, so you'll see how these two coaches react and play differently.
Elise Volpe will lead off here for Bucknell. I mentioned that she had an 18-game hitting streak snapped yesterday. She still got on, so her on-base streak is still alive.
A lot of energy out of that Bucknell fan section up the first base line over there.
Bison fans trying to cheer their team on and still waiting for something to be sorted out here. I believe one of the gates might be open down the left field line or something of the sorts, as the home plate umpires come out now to talk to a third base umpire and Joey Lai. Darren Vogelman is the home plate umpire. Lynn Nemeth is at first, and Brad White slides over to third base for Game 2.
Yeah, it's been the same crew for all 5 games now of this tournament, and everyone's had turn. This is Vogelman's second time behind the plate. He did the Terriers opening game yesterday against Colgate, and this is his first time behind the plate. Of course, last time out, Brad White was behind the plate in the last game. That was the first time he was behind the plate for either of those two teams. So I think that was why they do it, and it's just going to be a natural progression through these guys switching off. I'm curious to see whatever's going on here.
Yeah, I have no clue. The entire infield is gathered up in the circle, and umpires are looking around. They might be talking to the scoreboard crew now.
Did it go out?
They're also getting somebody to come fix up the lines in the outfield. It appears down the right field line.
Who knows?
What a precarious start to this game, as we've yet to start it, and there's a delay here in the first. They relined the dirted area down the foul line in right field. And now it looks like they're going to have to do the same to the left field area. So we're going to have a delayed start here because relining the outfield dirt up against the foul pole.
I mean, while we have some time, do you want to break down the defensive alignment for Lehigh? I mean, it's been the same look all series long.
They've got Van Oyen, Rabago, and Chesson in the outfield, left to right. Also Brooks, Barry-Artarvich, and Smith with Stoll on the infield from third to first. Preble behind the plate for Boyd.
And that's been basically it. I mean, we saw one inning. Chesson last game was pinch run for by Carson O'Rourke, and then she stayed in, played one inning defensively, and then Chesson came back out when her spot in the lineup was back. Of course, that replacement rule, everything's pretty wide open for returns.
Well, they now have everything lined up well, so Volpe will lead off just past 12:40. Our first pitch here of Game 2. In there for a strike.
And the key's going to be to work quick. I mean, that's Boyd's demeanor on the mound last game out. Work quick, keep up your momentum. And definitely don't waste pitches against this tricky Bucknell team.
Boyd did come in last game and shut the door for Norrie. First pitch is grounded to second, and it will be off the glove and through the legs of Smith. So an E4 will allow our first base runner to reach for the Bison, so Volpe's on to start the game.
Not ideal for Mary Hannah Smith over there at second base, but at least Volpe, one of those very, very tricky base runners as well.
That brings up Ryan Rokos. The bunt gets down. It's back to the mound. Boyd's going to pick it up and throw on to first for the first out. The sacrifice successful. So already a runner in scoring position here for Anna Gimstad, the shortstop and three-hole hitter with 7 homers on the year, one of 3 straight hitters in this Bucknell lineup that have pounded 7 homers this season.
And for Rokos, that's the kind of small ball that you're going to need to do to manufacture runs against a team like Lehigh. And just in this tournament, you see small ball has won all of these games so far.
Pitch from Boyd, swung on and popped out of play, foul. 0-1. It'll be an 0-1 from Boyd momentarily. Looking in. And deals the pitch. Flying to the right center field gap. Bucknell is going to strike first. The ball will roll to the wall. Gimstad is going for 3, and there's no throw. It's going to be a stand-up RBI triple for Anna Gimstad, and Bucknell leads 1-0.
It's the kind of start you want. You got your 3-hole hitter up there. Little bit of a move in the lineup here. Rokos came up from the bottom of the order on day 1, and it worked out with the sac bunt moving Volpe up, and now Gimstad coming in clutch, finding a big gap in the outfield and running for days. Now Bucknell with a big chance to strike here with only 1 out and Gimstad on third.
Now that's going to be an unearned run because of the error to lead off the game, but still counts all the same for Bucknell. Still a runner on third base, just 1 away. This one's hammered to left field, giving chase. It's off the wall. Van Ooyen will play it into second, and the ball will get by, but standing on second is Lauren Hadley with an RBI double, back-to-back big hits for the Bison.
And that's the downfall of Parker Boyd. I mean, if you just pump strikes, you throw balls over the plate day in and day out, good hitting teams, aggressive hitting teams are going to do just this to you. And back-to-back with Gimstad finding a gap, and now Hadley driving one over Van Ooyen's head out there and left. I mean, this is good hitting. This is exactly what Bucknell wanted to come to Boston and do yesterday, and it looks like it's just a day late.
So a good start for the Bison here in the first, and we're going to get a mound visit for Parker Boyd. Already some tossing going on in the bullpen as Lehigh has no time to waste. Neither team in this game is going to have a very big leash or hook for their pitchers.
Of course, Lehigh has their other gun that they go to, Gabby Norrie. And, of course, Emily Sorum over there getting loose, too.
We saw Norrie start game 1, was relieved by Boyd. The two of them split the duty yesterday against Bucknell in a win. Norrie was the one to come out of the bullpen and shut down Bucknell. She gave up just 1 hit, struck out 7 in 3 1/3 innings of work.
And you can see how quick the leash is going to be as the pitching coach is already making his way out to the dugout. Just trying to get a feeling for if Norrie feels that she's ready to come in. It's probably been, about an hour and a half since she last worked?
So Boyd will look in here and deal to Wolfgang. That one's inside. Taylor Wolfgang, the catcher, 5-hole hitter, .293 on the season, 7 homers, 41 runs batted in.
And another player that can drive the ball. So this is not a small ball type situation. This is a find a pitch you like and drive it somewhere.
1-0 is low and outside, 2-0. It's a good hitter's count here for a good hitter. Taylor Wolfgang swings, flies it out to center. It's playable for Rabago. She drifts over, makes the play, and then drawing a throw at second was Hadley. But the second out of the inning is recorded, and the runner will stay put at second base.
Sometimes it's just early game jitters, but you know that's a third consecutive hard hit ball off of Boyd early here. So this might not be the look they want to go to. I know Bucknell really struggled yesterday when they went from the righty release of Boyd to the lefty release of Norrie. And so that's probably the path this game will take again today.
Boyd will deal to Jess Horn. That catches the corner for strike one. The 0-1, just high, 1-1. His pitching staff for Lehigh gave up a total of 2 runs in the game that ended almost an hour ago. They've given up 2 runs here in the first inning. More specifically, it's been Parker Boyd roughed up this time. Slapped into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. The runner will hold at third base. Coming up with it was Van Ooyen. So Hadley's at third, and Horn extends the inning with a single.
And that was just great situational hitting as a lefty running up through the box there. You kind of throw that slap swing down, and that's exactly what's in mind as you run through the box and throw that slap. A slow blooping, kind of a looper that's just in between the third baseman and the left fielder. And it worked perfectly there. It just wasn't deep enough to give Hadley the space to get home.
So the entire infield and Boyd will be called over towards the dugout for Lehigh, and that's going to be it for Parker Boyd. She's going to hand the ball off here to Gabriella Norrie, who comes on in relief here with 2 outs in the first inning.
Just didn't have the stuff. Just didn't. I don't know if it's back-to-back games or whatnot, but just did not see the stuff out of her that you saw early against the Terriers.
So it will be Gabriella Norrie, the left-hander, who started game 1 here today against BU, and she'll be called on rather quickly to come on and try and keep this at a 2-0 lead with 2 runners on and 2 away, and Haley Mariano, the designated player, due up. It's been a good start for Bucknell for a variety of reasons, but of course the biggest will be now they have a lead on the board for Lauren Lichtenwallner already before she even takes the mound.
And of course Lichtenwallner is the second pitcher for Bucknell. I don't know how much they go, 1 or 2 pitchers, but yesterday it was Geffert to start against Lehigh. And we'll see Geffert is out there in the bullpen staying loose. But Lichtenwallner, the junior out of Lansville, PA, will get the start today. But they got to get to her first.
They sure
One more
do.
out to go for the Mountain Hawks.
You are not wrong, my friend. That's Brian Lombardo, by the way. I'm John Avino. Elated to have you with us here on this beautiful Friday afternoon. And by beautiful, I mean just what we thought May 10th would look like. 50 degrees and cloudy.
Nice October morning.
So Norrie's ready now, and she'll have to deal with Mariano with 2 away and runners on the corners. Didn't pitch poorly in the game against BU. And the 2-1 loss, she went 5 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 2 runs. One of those was earned, the solo home run.
And Hom actually stole the base off Norrie there to start. I mean, you're not going to get a throw because Hadley could break for home, but smart base running by Bucknell too.
So Horn picks up a steal. Now it's 2 runners in scoring position. Fly out to right field. Long run for Chesson, but she gets there to make the play. But a couple runs already come across to score. A big error to lead off the ball game, and then a triple and a double by Gimstad and Hadley. It's a 2-0 lead for Bucknell as we head to the bottom of the first.
Back here at BU softball field, we're going to break down Lauren Lichtenwallner, starter today for Bucknell, coming out with a nice little lead, 2 runs to help her confidence here on the season. 2.73 ERA, 11-7 on the year, 21 games started, 6 complete games, 125 innings pitched, holding opponents to a 2.73 batting average. So pretty solid, 46 strikeouts to 40 walks as she goes to work.
She's not one of those pitchers that's going to strike out a ton, but she still gets the outs one way or the other. The first pitch was a ball, so it's 1-0. This is the leadoff hitter, Ashley Rabago, hitting .383, the senior. And Lehigh needs runs right off the bat. They're down 2-0. And right off the bat, Rabago's down in the count, 1-2. Slapped on the ground towards short, picked up by Gimstad. She throws on to first for the first out of the inning.
And of course, you see that on display there from Lichtenwallner. Not an overpowering kind of stuff. Not gonna smoke it by you with the fastball, but definitely a pitch to contact kind of starter. Throws everything out over the zone and not afraid to put it in play. Tries to keep the ball in the lower part of the strike zone, keep balls on the ground. And it's worked with that first batter.
That one misses for a ball. This is Mary Hannah Smith. She was 1 for 3 in the first game. That one's in there for a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Mentioned in the first game, if you watched, that Mary Hannah Smith was not retired all but one time yesterday against Bucknell. She did ground into a fielder's choice, but she reached all 5 times, came across to score runs 4 separate times, all accounting for a 7-2 victory over Bucknell yesterday. And the 2-2 count here. Jammed her, and it's blooped over the first baseman's head, and that is a fair ball. So it's going to be a 1-out single for Mary Hannah Smith, and sometimes good hitters will get lucky and find a place, even if it's not the hardest hit ball.
Yeah, that ball was just over the glove there at first base of Alemany. Hadley had to chase it down all the way to the fence. Sometimes that's extra bases if you can catch them sleeping, but I think Mary Hannah Smith might have watched that for a minute out of the box.
So it's the cleanup hitter, or excuse me, the 3-hole hitter, Jalen Chesson with one away. Chesson was 1 for 2 with a walk. Pops this one up, foul territory, giving chase and running out of room is both Hadley and Alemany.
Notice up the middle there, they have a feeling that they can get 2. Gimstad cheating over a little bit to the bag, probably double play depth. A little more in the hole for Hadley.
The 0-1, the 1-1 I should say, is off the plate, 2-1. BU jumping out, or excuse me, Bucknell jumping out to a 2-0 lead in the top half of the first. Now Lehigh trying to answer, and that one misses as well. It'll be a 3-1 count into Chesson. And that one misses low for ball 4. So now Lehigh has a couple runners on with one away.
That lower part of the plate is not open for business with the umpires today. I mean, it's a little bit tighter of a strike zone than yesterday. I know some of those low pitches, what I was seeing, I was behind home plate for the first couple of days of this tournament on radio, but definitely not getting pitches called in the bottom half of that plate.
That one misses. 1-0 into Lexi Van Ooyen. Fouled away, 1-1. Lichtenwallner deals, and it's inside and low, 2-1. She got off to a quick start with the ground out to shortstop, but it since has not been easy here in the first. 2-1 is popped up right at catcher, and able to grab it is Wolfgang for the second out.
And we saw Van Ooyen really working on it in the cage in between those games. Wasn't happy with her performance in the first game. And can't be happy about that one. Just mostly a foul pop. Barely got high enough, but the catcher read it right off and got under it.
First pitch swinging. It's over the head of the right fielder, Rokos. That will go to the wall. We're going to have a tie ball game, and into second base is Addie Kittle. We'll have to see how that scored. It was scorched off the bat, but it kind of froze Rokos out and right. She tried to jump to make it up and couldn't quite climb the ladder.
I mean, you go back to Little League days. What does coach tell you? First step back. And in that situation, I think Rokos thought she was going to catch a dropping line drive, but that thing just never gave up. Addie Kittle smoked that one fresh over the head, and she's going to get pinch run for as Lehigh will go for the throat early just yet again against Bucknell. Tied this one up. Another runner in scoring position. Looking to waste nothing here with 2 outs.
Well, the pinch runner is Hannah Edwards. She comes on for Addie Kittle here in the first inning. And it is a 2-run double for Addie Kittle. So she's going to get credit for both RBIs. And we're going to have a tie ball game yet again.
And it's brand new. I mean, think about it. It might have been a mistake going with Boyd, but coach knows, hey, new ball game now. It's time to win it in 6.
It's a 2-0 count. Peyton also Brooks, the third baseman. That one misses.
And it's in there right now as a double for Kittle. But usually those are revised, especially in that situation. There was no play directly on the ball, so who knows?
That's a strike on a 3-0 count. Yeah, oftentimes if it doesn't touch anybody, it will be a base hit, but that's still...
It was definitely a mental error.
Mm-hmm. It just froze Rokos after she had took that first step in. There's a ground ball to second base that will end the inning. Hadley goes on to first. But the damage is done as Mary Hannah Smith and Jalen Chesson both get on, and then driving them both in is Addie Kittle with a big 2-run double. It's 2-2 as we go to the second. Boston University is the site for the Patriot League softball tournament, which began yesterday. All games will be available on the Patriot League network. In addition, Navy's the top seed for the 2019 Patriot League Baseball Championship, which gets underway on Saturday, May 11th. Visit the Patriot League website at patriotleague.com and click on the championship links for more info. Top of the second inning, it's already 2-2. Each team with 2 runs in the first frame. It will be 8-9-1 for Bucknell here in the second, and they will face Gabriella Nori in her first full inning of work. And she will deal a pitch high to Nicole Revate. Revate, a .284 hitter, a couple homers on the year, 19 runs batted in. It did begin to rain a little bit during our break, and it's still continuing to drizzle just a bit. That one fouled away, and we're hoping that nothing serious comes in until after we're done here today. And that is all indications of what the forecast looked like. We should have enough of a window to get this game in without cause or problem. Of course, they moved everything up today a little bit to try and speed up the end times. Norrie deals a 1-1, hammered towards center field. Moving back on it is Rabago, and there's one away. Marissa Alamany now, a 181 hitter to this point, will dig in. Norrie would love to put a 0 on the board here after her team reset the game by tying it up in the bottom of the first. Check swing there. It's not going to matter. It's down the middle.
And Alamany was in the 2-hole yesterday. As you said, the 181 hitter. Home run and 11 RBIs in the season. OBP 395, so she does reach. Taking 21 walks in the year, so a good eye up there at the plate.
Fouled away. 0-2. This is a lineup for Bucknell that features two left-handers. Norrie has not faced either one of them yet today. Swing and a miss, strike three. Good-looking pitch there from Norrie. The first strikeout of the game for either side. And there's two away for the top of the order.
That looks like she took a little bit off that one. Might have gone with the changeup and just kept Alamany off balance there for the K.
Now Volpe will dig in. Volpe reached on an error in the first to lead off the game, and that really started the wheels on a big inning for Bucknell. Of course, it only was 2 runs when it was all said and done, but might not have ever happened if it weren't for the error at second base by Smith. First pitch missed. A 1-0. Slapped the other way, foul.
Had the head coach jumping out of the way there.
I was just going to say, keeping her on her toes. That's the Patriot League Rookie of the Year, hitting towards the Patriot League Coach of the Year.
All love.
1-1. Showing bunt, but pulling back in on a high pitch. 2-1. High, it'll be 3-1 now. Fouled away, full count here with 2 outs. Lehigh beating Bucknell yesterday. We've touched on that a couple times now. 7-2. That was the first win of the season for Lehigh against Bucknell. They were 0-3 against them in the regular season, but have obviously won the most important game so far. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 straight strikeouts for Gabriella Norrie, and she has a nice 1-2-3 second. It's 2-2. Lehigh will try to grab the lead next. Well, you're looking at the championship bracket here for this weekend right now, and a lot of it already set. They'll have tomorrow, of course, the championship round. It'll either be 1 or 2 games, depending on what happens in Game 1 tomorrow. These 2 teams right here each have 1 loss so far, and it's double elimination. So whoever loses this one won't be invited tomorrow, and the other team will get the chance to play BU, and, of course, they'll have to knock them off twice. It's 0-2 count very quickly to Carly Yatarvich. Still, it's been 2 games, and that is not getting any easier to say.
Rain's coming down a little bit harder now, too. But the way you like to put this one is loser goes back to Pennsylvania.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
Second elimination game in this 2019 Patriot League tournament.
0-2, off speed, just missed. And, of course, the loser yesterday got to go back to Hamilton, New York. So
yeah.
Chopped foul.
That was a good game yesterday, too. You didn't get any quit out of Colgate. They knew Bucknell kind of came into this thinking they were the favorites the way the season ended. BU went out to Lewisburg for a 3-game series, had the very last one rained out, so it was just determined that they were the winners and they got to host it. But that last game could have had, a lot of deciding factor in who hosts this tournament.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch, inside corner, and both pitchers right now showing something off, as that's the first K for Lichten-Wallner, but 2 straight to end last inning for Norrie.
You're writing the game review at home. You go bottom of the second, Lichten-Wallner, K, Bayaktarovich. Very simply put, using every key on your keyboard.
And at least every vowel once, right? Maybe not you. Driven out to deep left field. Moving back on it is Horn, and she's going to make the play for the second out. So Preble took a swing at the first pitch she saw, flew it out to left, and that brings in the 9-hole hitter, Jen Stoll.
A little bit of a defensive shift here, too, for Bucknell. Move their center fielder over. This is definitely an opposite field type of hitter.
Yeah, Stoll is a .261 hitter coming in with 36 hits on the year, just one of them for extra bases. So she's looking to slap the ball the other way, and at least Volpe has come way in and moved towards left field. This is grounded to the right side, of course. Second base comes up with it. Hadley will flip over to first. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning as both pitchers match each other in the second. We head to the third. It's 2-2. For the latest Patriot League news and information, follow the official league account on Twitter @Patriot League.
Stay connected with Patriot League. It's members, schools, and student athletes through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Plenty of ways to keep up with not only the Patriot League, but all of the teams in it. Mentioned earlier, the baseball tournament getting started this weekend as well.
That one's out in West Point, you said?
There's actually 2 host schools for that. So the first 2 seeds host. Navy is hosting the first, and Holy Cross is the second host. Army will be visiting Holy Cross tomorrow. Yeah, I know that because I will be there.
Oh, nice.
But otherwise, Navy will be taking on the 4 seed, which I believe is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember. But I will.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay.
It will be Rocco, Skimstad, and Hadley to lead off here in the bottom or the top half of the third. First pitch swinging and fouled away. It's either Lehigh or Lafayette. The L schools, they get me confused sometimes.
Understandably so.
Norrie with an 0-1. Ahead 0-2 now is Rocco's a little bit ahead on that swing. Rocco's had a sacrifice bunt back in the first inning that moved Volpe up to second. Now behind 0-2. Off the plate, 1-2. Fouled away at the plate yet again, so they'll do a 1-2 again. Rocco's a senior from Batavia, Illinois. Waits on this one and drills it into center field over the head of the leaping try of Smith. A leadoff single here in the third for Rokos, and really a great piece of hitting as she waded back on that one.
Yeah, that was key. Let the ball come to you, hit it where it's pitched. And a nice display up there by Rokos.
So now it's Anna Gimstad, the 3-hole hitter who tripled in the first, brought home Volpe. And now we'll dig in. A chance to try and do the same. Nori looks in and delivers. First pitch, a big swing, and it's missed at 0-1.
Yeah, looking for another one of those triples.
Or better. The 0-1. Bunted. It's a push bunt up the first base side. It'll be fielded by Stoll, who turns and throws to Smith covering to retire Gimstad. So whether it was intended as a sacrifice or not, it does the job and moves Rokos up to second base with one away.
Yeah, especially after swinging away to that first pitch. That looked like something more she tried to sneak in there, maybe catch Preble napping behind the plate and just drop very, very short in front of the plate and maybe run one out, but pushed it right up that first base line and made an easy out.
Lauren Hadley, first pitch swinging at. It'll be playable in center field for Rabago, and getting back into second base easily is Rocco. So a quick at-bat here for Hadley, and that brings in Taylor Wolfgang. Wolfgang flew out to center in the first inning, was the second out of the inning, and the last out that Parker Boyd was able to pick up. But the implications being what they are, Gabriella Nori came in the first inning and has done pretty well so far. Only one hit allowed, a couple Ks. I'm trying to strand this runner here to end the third inning. That pitch in the dirt. That one misses. In the elimination game yesterday that Bucknell played in against Colgate, Wolfgang went 3 for 4 with a double and 4 runs batted in. Drove in 4 of the 5 Raider runs, or excuse me, of the 4 of the 5 Bison runs against the Raiders. That one will be caught at shortstop for the final out of the inning. So a leadoff single is wasted by the Bison. Nori strands 1. We've played 2.5. It is a 2-2 ball game. All-time series history between these two schools. Lehigh leads it 54-17, but it's been Bucknell this year that got the upper hand, 3-1 so far, including the loss yesterday. So Lehigh has dominated career-wise, but Bucknell this year has been the better team.
Yeah, recently doing their best to change history against Lehigh. And it's worked out. Dropped it yesterday, but back here for the rematch in an elimination game.
First pitch missed. This one is in there for a strike. This is Ashley Rabago, and then Mary Hannah Smith and Jalen Chesson, the top 3 of the Lehigh order. Grounded to second. Easy play for Hadley to flip over to first, 1 away.
Not getting the same kind of response out of the top of your order and Rabago that you were hoping for early on. Yesterday she was a real factor in the first game. Reached base 5 times, 3 different ways. So
she was 0 for 3 in game 1, now 0 for 2 in game 2 here today. First pitch swung on and off the glove of Gimstad into left field. That should be a base hit for Mary Hannah Smith. It was hit pretty hard, but we'll see how it is scored. It did go off the glove. Nonetheless, it's a 1-out base runner for Bucknell, or for Lehigh rather, with Jalen Chesson coming up.
think it could be safe to mark that an error. We'll wait for the official, but it was a sharply hit line drive in the hole.
And they do give Smith the single. At least for now. So that's how it's scored right now. He could always change that later. This one's hammered to deep right center field, giving chase to the outfielders off the base of the wall. It will be fielded and thrown in, and here comes the go-ahead run in the form of Mariana Smith. It will be an RBI double for Jalen Chesson, and Lehigh takes their first lead of this ball game.
Smart. Great piece of hitting again by Chesson. And how many balls have we seen just today alone off the base of the wall? You never thought at the BU softball field the measurements would be so perfect for softball to keep balls in the yard. Only one have gotten out all tournament, and that was Heinen this morning. But 200 left and right field and 220 straightaway center.
Bucknell's going to send an arm down to the bullpen to begin getting loose as they have a mound visit here as well. It looks like
Ryan Geffert.
Yeah, it is Geffert. That's no surprise.
She started yesterday against Lehigh and looked pretty good, but Lichtenwallner is more or less a, go out there and get outs.
Well, Carson O'Rourke will pinch run here for Lehigh. So, again, it's a one-run ball game, and both coaches are feeling the heat early of trying to keep their seasons alive. So O'Rourke is on second. We'll see if it makes a difference as Van Owen is at the plate. Checks her swing, and it's down the first baseline, just foul. She popped out to the catcher first time up, and you mentioned that we saw her in the cages between games taking swings off a tee. She was not happy after game one. And here in game two, she's going to pick up a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base, so perhaps that in-between game work pays off here for Van Oyen, who picks up her first base hit of the afternoon or morning. She was 0 for 3 in the first game, 0 for 4 total, and now she's got a single, and there's runners on the corners.
And a spot for Kittle, who smoked a line drive over the head of Rokos in her first at-bat. Back here again with a chance to kind of a little bit of comfort to Gabby Norrie on the mound. On the other side is O'Rourke, who is in to pinch run for Chesson. Did the same thing in the early game and ended up staying out there at right field for one inning, then coming back in. I think Bucknell might be down there checking on Geffert's availability.
Yeah, it did look like that Lichtenwallner was trying to wait and see if she could buy some time, but now she's going to go ahead and pitch to Kittle. First pitch in there for a strike. Kittle had a 2-run double in the first inning, has a couple of runners on base here. Another good pitch catches the strike zone. It's not offered at strike 2.
Yeah, and if this wasn't your 5-hole hitter coming off a line drive double, you could say you could play small ball here with runners at the corners with a sacrifice bunt, but swinging away.
And swinging through one for strike 3. A quick 1-2-3 at bat for Addie Kittle. Second out of the inning, and it's a big one.
That's good to get the confidence back for Lichtenwallner. Go out there and overpower someone who just took you long in the previous at bat. Nice showing. Nice show to reset the mind.
That's on the strike zone, in the strike zone to Peyton also Brooks. Grounded out to second base to end the first inning. Lichtenwallner would love to get her do something very similar here to end this inning, that one in the dirt. Lehigh taking the lead here in the bottom of the third inning. They would love to add to it. It's 3-2. That one taken for a strike. That's 5 straight strikes. Did I miss the ball? I missed the ball. Yeah. Got ahead of myself there. But 5 of the last 6. That one's grounded right side. Second straight time. It's going to be a ground out to second base for also Brooks. But Lehigh is going to grab the lead here. Jalen Chesson drives home Mary Hannah Smith, and after 3 full, Lehigh has a 3-2 lead. Take a look at some of the numbers between these two teams offensively. These from the regular season, but you can see how these two teams stack up against one another.
So as we got 1 and 2 team regular season batting average, Lehigh number 1, 289. Bucknell 283 just behind them. Doubles 2 and 3, 68 for Lehigh, 62 for Bucknell. And of course, stolen bases, they're tied with 58 aside. And it's both of their leadoff hitters, Volpe and Rabago. 22 stolen bases for Rabago and 16 for Volpe. So this is where they like to swipe bags at the top of their order.
Jess Horn leads off, followed by Haley Mariano, Nicole Revate, just off the plate. Ball 1. Bucknell trailing for the first time in this ball game. That one just missed. Gabriella Norrie still on. This will be her third full inning of work if she gets through it. Two-0 catches the strike zone, 2-1. Horn singled her first time up in the first inning, stole second, and that was as far as she made it. That one's low and away, ball 3. Gefford continues to throw in the Bucknell bullpen. Would not be too surprised to see her come out and pitch the bottom half of the 4th for the Bison. Norrie's going to lead off walk Jess Horn here. For the first walk issued by Lehigh pitching this game. And Haley Mariano comes up in a bunting situation here for Bucknell.
First walk of the day for Norrie. First walk of the game, really, for Lehigh. Boyd didn't have one in her short work.
First pitch is bunted up in the air. It goes off the fence and is caught off that, but of course that doesn't count for anything. 0-1.
Especially chasing now 1 run, bottom of your order. They're going to try to manufacture something here. It's definitely a bunt situation with no outs. But I'm surprised Baryak-Tarovic looks like she's in double play depth, so the movement might be a little bit different here.
0-1. Shows bunt again, pulls it back in, and the pitch missed. So 1-1.
So they'll actually have, in this situation, the left fielder Van Ooyen's going to come in and cover third because also Brooks is going to charge in to field the bunt. And so in that situation, third base would be wide open if Van Ooyen wasn't there. In the last game, they had Rabago come in from center field and Baryak-Tarovic go to third.
The 1-1 bunted, popped it up, and Norrie was going for it. Jumping in front of her was the third baseman, also Brooks, to make the play. And that's one of those where you just look at each other and laugh afterwards, but could have been disastrous had that ball dropped, or worse, the players hit each other.
Just goes to show how important it is to execute when you're doing small ball. Small ball is going to win these games, especially in the conference tournament.
Nicole Revate with 1 away and 1 on now. See if the bottom part of the lineup still wants to bunt with 1 out. So far, they're not. It's taken for a ball. Of course, you have the 9-hole hitter Alemany on deck, and then the top of the order. So if you're playing percentages, you could say to yourself, we try to move up the runner here, but Revate also has a batting average 100 points higher than Alemany on the season. That one misses as well, 2-0. Flown out towards right field. It gets out of play, foul. Two and 1 count from Norrie into Revate. Hammered up the middle. It will stay up long enough for Rabago to make a play on it. She got a good piece of the bat on the ball, but for the second time in as many at-bats, Rabago will retire Revate. So now after the leadoff walk, a couple straight outs, and Marissa Alamany will dig in. She struck out swinging her first time up. First pitch upstairs, 1-0. The 1-0 misses, 2-0. Norrie looks in, delivers, ripped foul. 2-1. Beginning to rain yet again. It's been on and off for the last half hour or so. Nothing that would warrant stopping play or even close to it, but it's picked up, slowed down, picked up, slowed down a couple times now.
Yeah, especially with this an elimination game, they're going to want to try to push through this as much as they can.
The 2-1, low, 3-1. On deck, the top of the order, Elise Volpe. Emily Sorum is getting loose for Lehigh in their bullpen. Norrie on the 3-1. Pulled the trigger a little early, and it will be fouled up the left field line. The count goes full. So now Horn's going to look to get a running start with a full count.
And what kind of surprises me is Norrie opted to keep that ball, even though it was just rolling in the wet grass. But it doesn't look like it's affecting her. She just rolls it over in her hand as she normally does.
Payoff pitch on the way. Grounded, foul towards the Lehigh dugout again.
If it gets any heavier than this, you might see a delay. Not a cancellation, but a delay.
They'll do 3-2 again. After a long look by Norrie. Now she starts. Fouled away again, this time across the street. The 3-2. This one's put into play in fair territory. Van Ooyen will just hang on to it as that ball nearly popped out of the glove, but it is the final out here in the fourth inning. So a leadoff walk wasted. We've played 3.5, and it's 3-2 Lehigh. Well, it's been pretty good for Lehigh lately. Of course, they did drop the game earlier today to BU, but coming in, they had won 7 straight Patriot League games, including the win yesterday over Bucknell, and they heated up right at the right time to solidify a spot in the conference tournament.
Pretty good stretch, yeah. Swept Holy Cross and then swept Colgate.
Both on the road.
Yeah, both on the road, and then beat Bucknell technically on the road yesterday too. They were the away team in that matchup, of course. Neutral site, in air quotes.
Interestingly enough, BU was a neutral site away team earlier today at their own home field. They stayed unbeaten on this field this season, but it does not count in their win column for home games. They're now 17-0 on this field this season, but only 16-0 at home. So there's a new pitcher on the mound, and her first pitch is off the plate. It's Ryan Geffert. No surprise that she's the first to come out of the pen for Bucknell. That one slapped at, fouled away. Geffert yesterday went 2 2/3 in the elimination game against Colgate, allowed 1 hit, had 4 strikeouts and a walk, picked up her 16th win of the season. That one just misses, 2-1. It's part of the ball game where Lehigh would love to push across a couple of insurance runs. Obviously, there's still a few innings to go, but turning point inning, the bottom of the 4th. I feel like once you hit the 5th, you're in that home stretch, so more than a 1-run lead would be comfortable. Good play, moving into foul territory by the third baseman, Revate, and there's one away. That was Carly Baryatarvich, and now Emily Preble, who flew out her first time up to left field. Geffert deals low, ball 1. The 1-0, blown by her, 1-1. Preble hasn't done a whole lot offensively this weekend yet. That one fouled away, 1-2. Next inning will be the big inning for whoever's on the mound for Lehigh, or one of the big innings, of course. That's the top of the 5th. It's also going to be the top of the order coming up for Bucknell. And play your cards right. It could be the last time you have to face certain people at the top of the lineup in this game. And be interesting to see how Lehigh attacks it. If Norrie comes back out, they had the right-hander Sorum getting loose last inning. 2-2. Fouled away. We'll do it again at 2-2. And it's fouled off left field side. Geffert wants a new softball. Unlike when that happened last inning and Norrie was able to keep the same ball. Pitcher's preference, I suppose.
Yeah, could show worsening, though, in the raindrops on the grass out there.
Another 2-2. Geffert winds and deals, and it's high, full count. On deck waits Jen Stoll. And then the top of the order for Lehigh. Fouled away again. Good at bat here by Preble. Another foul.
Running out of softballs.
There's a couple foul balls that went up on the roof of the track center across the street last game. There was somebody up there retrieving them.
Yeah. Must pull straws for that one, that gig.
Outside, ball 4, a great at-bat. Pays off for Preble as she works a one-out walk. And now that famous question that we always seem to ask in softball, do you play small ball here even with one out? Stoll can bunt and move her over, and then you'd have the top of the order up.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely there, but you're talking about cutting your outs in half now. You're 2 outs if you sacrifice here. That was a 10-pitch at-bat for Preble.
And Rabago is 0 for 2 in this game and has not done much else this weekend. That is bunted. Right back to the mound, however. Tough play, but it's made. Stoll's retired. But moving up to second base is Preble. So the runner in scoring position now for Ashley Rabago, and a chance for her to make up for a lack of good hitting this weekend with a single in the right place here. She could drive in a run.
Yeah, I mean, being a 383 hitter, you could argue that she's due to come through here, and with a runner in scoring position, that's clutch.
Strike 1. She's not somebody who's going to hit gap to gap. She's what you'd call a slap hitter as well. Only 3 extra base hits on 36 hits this season, but still a situation where if she finds a pitch that she can put somewhere safely, they would likely be able to score a run, though Preble not the fleetest of foot at second. It's slapped on the ground back to the mound. That won't drive in a run. And moving on to first base with it is Geffert for the final out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. So Lehigh gets a one-out base runner aboard, but is unable to bring her home after 4 full innings. We are still 3-2 Lehigh. Taking a look at the best hitters in the league, and a lot of them playing in this game. And these are 2 offenses that know how to score runs with the best of them. It all starts right here with the batting averages.
Yeah, the fact that you get to see 3 of them in this inning, you get to see 1, 5, and 6, Elise Volpe, Anna Gimstead, Lauren Hadley. That just goes to show how close you are at any time to a rally in either of these lineups. I mean, all 6 of the top Patriot League batting averages are in this game right now, as Lehigh owns 2 through 4.
So Volpe will lead off. Reached on an error and struck out 0 for 2, but did come across to score a run. It's still the left-handed Nori out there. The 1-0, 2-0. Volpe, Rokos, and Gimstad here in the 5th. Two-0 is popped up. Shallow left. Coming in is Van Oyen. And she will retire Volpe for the first out of the inning. And now Ryan Rokos. 1 for 1 with a sac bunt and a single. Nori looks in and delivers down the middle for a strike. The 0-1. Just high, 1-1. Fouled away. Count moves to 1-2 on Rokos, the 2-hole hitter. She singled to lead off the third, was moved up on Anna Gimstad's bunt to second base, but that's as far as she made it after a couple flyouts by Hadley and Wolfgang. Now she's up with 1 out here in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Rokos goes down. Third strikeout rather for Nori here in this game. And with 2 outs, nobody on, Anna Gimstad steps up. Low, ball 1. That one's right down the middle, 1-1. Gimstad, in addition to that sacrifice bunt I mentioned a moment ago, tripled home an RBI in the first inning. That was when it was still a brand new game, and Bucknell led off this game with 2 runs in the top of the first, quickly erased by Lehigh in the bottom of the first. 1-1, low, 2-1. 2-1 from Nori. Too high, 3-1. On deck, Lauren Hadley.
Definitely don't want to put this person on. 2 outs, go right after him. Try to get through this as quick as you can. The less opportunities you give Bucknell, the closer you are to moving on.
Full count as Nori finds the strike zone again. Trying to bring this game to the bottom of the 5th with a 3-2 lead. Give her team a chance to put some insurance runs on the board as we get into the final innings. Lehigh would love to set up a rematch with BU tomorrow. Popped up, and it will make it over the fence behind the catcher Preble and get out of play. Winding and delivering and popping it up again, but again it's out of play, this time to the right side.
It's a good battle.
Another good battle. We've seen a lot of these today. Another pitch from Nori on the way. Right down the middle, strike 3. She gets Gimstad looking for her second straight strikeout and 4th of the game. A 1-2-3 top half the 5th. Lehigh still leading 3-2. They'll try to add to it after this.
Back here at the BU softball field, as Lehigh clings to their 3-2 lead over Bucknell, looks to add to it here in the bottom of the 5th. In need to purchase that special gift? Visit PatriotLeagueStore.com to buy Patriot League Championship apparel and merchandise from your favorite Patriot League school. Visit PatriotLeagueStore.com. Get out there.
Well, you gotta, if you're gonna buy me something, that's where I want it from. So
PatriotLeagueStore.com.
make sure you go to PatriotLeagueStore.com. That goes for everybody listening as well. As I mentioned in Game 1, if you were listening to that, just send it to BU with my name on it, John Avino. That was Brian Lombardo reading for you, and now we'll both go back to calling the softball game. First pitch strike to Mary Hannah Smith. She's 2 for 2 with a couple singles. It's be a good inning for Lehigh to put up a run or two. as insurance with 2, 3, and 4 spots up in the lineup. Mountain Hawks have to record just 6 more outs against Bucknell to move on to the championship round, but of course it's just a one-run game, so easier said than done, and you'd love a little comfort level of extra runs if you could. Delivery is through the right side, and on to first base for the first out of the inning goes Hadley, and there's one away.
Nice play ranging in the hole there by Hadley. You know, might be getting a little slick out there, but didn't really lose her footing, more or less just kind of dived to stop the ball. Pop right back up and made the play to first.
So that brings up Jalen Chesson here with one away. Had an RBI last time up. On a double and also walked. Swing and a miss. Geffert gets her sign and begins to deal. Outside, 1-1. And that one just missed, 2-1. Fouled off at the plate. Count evens up at 2-2. On deck, Lexi Van Ooyen. Two is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Geffert gets Chesson, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, her first K of the day.
And Lexi Van Ooyen now, who is 1 for 2 with a single, also flew out to the catcher. Geffert will look towards her dugout, gets her sign, and now deals. Inside. One and one. Excuse me, 2-0.
Someone fell asleep on the board. Now they did it. They just put them up.
2-0 is in there for strike 1. Van Ooyen was taking. And now Geffert will deal a 2-1. Swung on and fouled away. It's 2-2. Big spot for Geffert here, trying to get through the cleanup hitter for Lehigh and keep this ball game 3-2. Her team offensively has 6 outs left to work with. It will be Hadley, Wolfgang, and Horn in the top of the 6th. 2-2 is fouled off at the plate again. Geffert flown out to center. Volpe will drift over towards right field and makes the catch for the final out here in the 5th. We've played 5 full. It's a Lehigh 3, Bucknell 2 on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Take the Patriot League with you wherever you go. Live games and on-demand content is free and easy to watch online and on your mobile devices. Log into patriotleague.tv or download the Watch Stadium app to start watching today.
And in addition, select Patriot League games are also available on a variety of over-the-top outlets and over-the-air television outlets. Please note that select games may require a subscription fee for viewing on OTT outlets. Visit patriotleague.com under the Media Center tab for more details.
Crushed it.
Continue to read at a high level.
Lauren Hadley, Taylor Wolfgang, and Jess Horn against Gabriella Norrie. 4, 5, and 6. The next couple outs are probably the toughest for Norrie left in this ball game. Lehigh with the lead only needs 6 more outs. Doesn't matter what they do offensively, but again, it's just a one-run ball game. First pitch misses.
This can all change with one swing of the bat.
Hadley had a double back in the first inning that drove in a run, flew out to center in the third. Got jammed right back to the mound on the flyout. So Hadley is retired. And now you enter a stretch of the lineup that has gone 1 for 9 off you today with a walk. And both of those times reaching were Jess Horn. So everybody else besides Jess Horn is 0 for 8 today against this part of the lineup, or against the pitching staff of Lehigh, I should say. Norrie got Wolfgang to pop out to short last time up. First pitch swing, she's going to hit it into the left center field gap. Up against the wall, it's fielded by Rabago. It's going to be a double here with 1 out for Wolfgang, and the tying run is in scoring position. Didn't waste any time, Brian.
Yeah, no, it's big stuff, and now you got to wonder, lefty batter up and home, and you're just gonna have to go back to the small ball, slap a bunt down that first base line, move her up, and trust Mariano to come up and find some green. They'll pinch run and everything, so they're really setting up this small ball here as Wolfgang comes off. Looks like number 1 going out there. Doriso, she pinch ran yesterday.
Bella Doriso is in the game. Jess Hom, 1 for 1 with a walk. Tying run at second base. First pitch from Norrie way upstairs.
And I wonder if softball players find it easier to get a bunt down in this type of situation as a lefty if you're running through the box. You know, it seems easy to me to just keep your feet planted and put the bat on the ball, but not what she's opting for here.
That catches the outside corner. Strike 1. Be a 1-0. 1-1 rather. Now 1-2 as the pitch is swung through. Good pitch there from Norrie. Fouled it away at the plate, and we'll do it again at 1-2.
Going with the trust here for Hom. Bunt situation's completely off now with 2 strikes. Although I've been surprised before. Just wouldn't expect it.
It'll be another 1-2 from Norrie. Off the plate, ball 2, 2-2.
And Norrie's definitely not one to waste pitches, so her going and working that outside, she's trying to hit the edge, trying to get the lefty batter running away from that part of the strike zone and still nab it.
Two. Slapped foul, and we'll do it again.
Another one of those great battles. I think this might have been the third one of the game today that, you know, Nori is not giving up. She's not giving away anything, and these Bucknell hitters are just fighting and clawing.
A 2-2 again on the way to Hom. Outside corner, called strike 3. Second out here in the top of the 6th.
That's a tough one. That's just a tough pitch to take in that situation. And now they're going to start with the pinch hitters off the bench here as head coach Joey Lehigh goes up to home plate umpire and announces a change.
Looks like Ava Fairbanks. So Fairbanks will take the bat out of the hands of Haley Mariano, the designated player. She was 0 for 2. And now Fairbanks will try to drive home that run.
Using a lot of freshmen off the bench here. Yesterday, Sarah Ballack, 27 off the bench, got a pinch hit opportunity. And now it's Fairbanks.
Fairbanks just 14 hits and 75 at-bats this year. First pitch missed, ball. Did have 4 doubles and drove in 7 runs. Big batter in this game right here. A 1-0, low, 2-0. Excuse me, 1-1 now. Outside corner, strike 2. 1-2. Nori delivers. Popped up, and it will make it out of play. Just miss a Jeep that was driving by.
That street, I mean, there's not often that cars go by. And that was a close call.
So they'll do it again, 2-2 to Ava Fairbanks, the pitch hitter, trying to drive in Bella DeLiso, who pinch ran for Taylor Wolfgang. Outside, just missed off the plate. And we've gone full. On deck waits Nicole Revate. Payoff pitch from Nori. Fouled away again. Had so many battles today. Not even just this game. Just in general. No batter willing to go down easily. Nori shaking off Preble here. Now she deals. And it's off the first baseline foul.
Even more so in this one. I mean, this is win or go home. Nobody wants to go home, so everyone's giving you their very, very best here.
No, this is win or go back to Pennsylvania.
It's true. Win or go back to Pennsylvania. Probably don't even spend the night, right? You're just riding on a bus.
I would imagine whoever loses will probably leave today.
Although with traffic, it's got to pick up soon.
That might be what we hear with the helicopters over our head for.
Yeah,
traffic copter on the Pike. Another 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nori will strike out the final 2 batters here in the 6th And Lehigh, with a 3-2 lead, will try to add to their lead before closing this one out. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th next. See some of the numbers on the hill this year for Bucknell, and the lady on the hill right now is a big reason why they've had some successful pitching this year. Rayanne Geffert's been great.
Yeah, either first or second team pitching ERA. They're second in league, 2.69. Number 1 in walks, 83, and second in whip, 1.25. Very stingy, not letting many on base.
Lehigh would love to add an insurance run or two. It's Addie Kittle leading off, Peyton also Brooks, and then Carly Baryartarvich will round out the third batter here in the inning. If anybody gets on, Emily Preble. Just off the plate. 1-1. Nori or whoever's on the mound for Lehigh will need to record 3 more outs for a victory and an advancement to the championship series or game against BU. It would be a game if BU wins. It would be multiple if whoever wins this game were to win game 1 tomorrow. That one down the middle, not offered at. Two games tomorrow. Right now we're scheduled for 11 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Poked out towards center, coming on, and making the play is Volpe for the first out in the bottom half of the 6th. And that brings up Peyton also Brooks.
Lehigh definitely wants to look for an insurance run here, but the way Nori's been dealing, I'll be fine with her going back out there as is.
We saw earlier they had Emily Sorum warming up, but it's been a while since she's been throwing, and Nori has settled into quite the groove here. Geffert has settled into a groove on this side as well, holding this game in place. Ground ball to shortstop, picked up by Gimstad over to first, and reaching for the throw was Alamany, second out of the inning. Carly Baryatarovich comes up now to the musical stylings of Daddy Yankee, Gasolina. It's a great choice for a walk-up song.
Gets the juices flowing.
She's 0 for 2 in this game. Looking to bunt there as she did her last time up and ended up fouling out, actually. It was a different one that I was thinking of, but she ended up fouling out last time to third base. Struck out as well, now behind 0-1. 0-2 as she fouls this one away. The 0-2. Fouled off in the box. We'll do it again. Looking ahead to the bottom half of the 7th, it will be Nicole Revate, Marissa Alamany, and Elise Volpe. And, of course, I meant to say the top half of the 7th. I've been all over the place. That one misses, 1-2. Outside corner, but it missed, and they say no swing down at third base. That looked like it was in the strike zone.
That's tough. That shouldn't even have been something that Darren Vogelman had to go to Brad White for. That looked like a full-blown break, especially running up through that box.
Another 2-2 now. Grounded up the middle, but moving to her right just a step was Hadley to make the play for the final out of the 6th. Gabriella Nori will come back out here for the 7th and try to finish Bucknell off to advance to the championship round. They lead 3-2. We'll be right back. Back for the top of the 7th inning as Gabriella Nori will try to finish what she almost started. Came on in the first inning in relief of her teammate Parker Boyd and has pitched pretty well since then. And it's Bucknell down to their final 3 outs. It'll be Nicole Ravate, Marissa Alamany, and Elise Volpe. And they only need 1 run to try and extend this ball game, but it's a tall task against Nori, especially leading off the 8, 9, and then the 1 spot. Combined today, those 3 spots in the order are 0 for 7, though Volpe did reach on an error and come around to score in the first inning. First pitch to Ravate. Low. Ball 1.
And you look on deck, Alamany is there, but they have Ballack on the bench who pinch hit yesterday. So it could be another situation like that, especially if Ravate gets on.
Popped up, playable, and it's caught by Preble. 1 away.
I just noticed Bucknell wasting outs late in this game. The Hadley fly out to the pitcher, the looking K by Hom, and just a tough fly out again to the catcher. And Preble, just not how you want to spend some of your last 6 outs.
I'll tell you what, for Bucknell, after going 3-0 against Lehigh in the regular season, it's going to be tough for them to fall to them not once but twice here in this tournament if it happens. The 2 seed coming in. 0-1 count now to Alamany.
And a quick chat here. Coach Lai wants to talk to her batter. Go over maybe some stuff she's noticing with Nori. Of course, there's someone in the Lehigh cage. I think that's still Emily Sorum over there staying loose, just in case they need the closer to come in.
Well, it's an 0-1 count right now on Alamany, and she got a pop-up to the catcher to start the inning. So no trouble yet here for her in the final frame.
Yeah, 78 pitches in this one. Didn't get the pitch count in the first one, but she definitely threw close to, if not more than 80.
The 0-1 fouled away, 0-2.
103 in the first game. So, yeah, nearing 200 in the day. And that arm's just completely made of rubber at this point.
You can bet that she'll probably play some role tomorrow as well.
I'd start. You'd have to come back with that.
The 0-2. Ground ball, third base. On to first. Goes also Brooks for the second out.
But as long as the throw you can make on a diamond there, that was right up the chalk in the third base line. Nice play by also Brooks. Nice strong throw across the diamond in time.
So Bucknell down to their final out. Elise Volpe, the batter due up.
And talk that over, yeah.
That did look like a foul ball to me. But
in that situation, it's the third base umpire's jurisdiction to make a call. You didn't hear a voice, you didn't see an arm, nothing. So they're going to definitely stay with it. You can't go back on that call after that, after the throw is made.
Yeah, I think Bucknell had to ask just to get some clarification, but unfortunately for them, there's not going to be an overturned call or anything of those sorts. So it is going to be Bucknell down to their final out, and the final out, Elise Volpe is hoping not to be that. She's also the tying run. So there's that.
Yeah, 2 home runs in the season. She's gone long before.
First pitch from Nori, right down the pipe, strike 1. The 0-1 is high, 1-1. bunted on the infield. Norrie going to throw it past the first baseman into right field. Going into second, and then the ball getting by there as well was Volpe. So I would think that's going to be a base hit and then an error allowing Volpe to advance to second base.
Yeah, throwing error definitely on Norrie. And that's why that pitch is made, especially from a tall lefty like that, having to field it and then turn to make the throw. Makes it all the smarter move there on Volpe to have that wherewithal and understand the defensive alignment to make that happen. Applause to her. Down to their last out, making it count.
So Ryan Rokos is going to get a chance here to extend this game. There's a mound visit being taken place right now. Emily Sorum continues to toss, but they're going to leave Gabriella Norrie on the hill, and I think you have to here.
And they're going to stick with Rokos up to bat. 202 average, hasn't been that great. Was down in the bottom half of the lineup yesterday. Swapped her with Alamany today.
She does have a single in this game in addition to a sacrifice bunt, and then struck out. Norrie will look in. A long set, and now she comes to deliver. Missed. Ball one. The 1-0. 2-0.
A lot of life still on that Bucknell bench. It's not over till it's over.
Tying run at second base. Go-ahead run at the plate with a 2-0 count. Drama very present. 2-0. Swung on and fouled away. 2-1. Trying to stay alive is Bucknell. Trying to advance with a 3-2 victory is Lehigh to take on Boston University tomorrow. Terriers have been back in their dorm rooms and in their apartments, whatever else they live in, watching this one from the safety and comfort of their room. Ground ball, first base, it's fair. No, it's foul. So it will be 2-2. Last strike for Rokos. Norrie looks in, delivers, swung on and missed, strike three. Norrie gets Rokos down swinging, and Lehigh has stayed alive and will advance to the Patriot League Championship tomorrow.
Boy, that's not the path we expected when Parker Boyd started this game and only made it through 2/3 of an inning, allowing 2 hits and just getting absolutely blasted all over this yard. What an unbelievable game by Gabriella Norrie to come in 6 1/3, just be absolutely stellar and slam the door shut. All credit to her with over close to 200 pitches on the entire day. Just a great job by Norrie.
Take a look at the final stats in this one. Pretty even both sides. Lehigh did commit a couple of errors, but in the end, it did not matter. They end up finishing off the Bison of Bucknell. They hand them a couple of losses in a couple of days after they had lost to Bucknell 3 times during the regular season. So Lehigh feeling pretty good about themselves, and they'll get set for a rematch tomorrow with BU in the Patriot League Championship. Any final thoughts, Brian?
Same thing continues. You have only one game guaranteed here on out. If this is how Lehigh's gonna strive to play, I mean, they did it against Bucknell. It's win or go home. Same thing. They're gonna have to take 2 from BU tomorrow. It's gonna be a tough task, but we'll see if Norrie and Lehigh's up to it.
I want to say thank you for joining us for not only this game, but both games here today. Thank you to my broadcast partner, Brian Lombardo. I'm John Avino saying good afternoon from Boston University softball field, where, again, the score Lehigh 3, Bucknell 2. For more Patriot League broadcast features and information, go to watchstadium.com. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Patriot League Network on Stadium.